Alright fellas, we're back with Gbody Media. I'm finna do a quick video, go through my engine management system I run on my Gbody with the OS 455. This is the Terminator X V3 software. And I run the Terminator X Stealth, which is the throttle body unit with the external ECU. This is how the software looks when you first open it up. You can see global files right there. It come preloaded with some with some base cals. If you click on it and go to base cals, depending on what engine you have, it'll probably be a big base cal for you. It's got TBI, Hillborn, Hemi, and GM, and Ford. You can see. If you got something close to that, you can use that base cal to get you started. You can go in and the software and switch all the parameters to your exact setup. I started off from scratch, but this is just a cool little thing that they did to get us started, fellas. You got Hillborn, you got a couple, you got a small block Ford and a big block Chevy on there. As y'all can see, it can run just about any engine with some software changes and a harness swap. So it's pretty modular and upgradable. Some Hemi base cals. And you know, it's really aimed at the GM, the LS. So let's go and click LS. Yeah, you see all the base cals it got. Some naturally aspirated, I'm pretty sure, turbo, supercharged. This system pretty badass, fellas. And just how I'm using it is pretty basic with the TBI. Most guys will say you need to, if you're gonna do it, you might as well go multi-port, and they are correct. But this is a pretty awesome system, the TBI too. You got some LTs, base cals. I think you'll need also another module if you're gonna do the like the LT stuff, the Hemi, or the Fords. I think you probably have to buy an extra module. But you can run the Godzilla, the Coyote big block mod motor, and the small block Ford. It's pretty badass, fellas. I'm gonna go into my some what you see right there, Lucille V, that's what I named it. And you can go right in and go to open. And when you open it, this is what you'll get. Up at the top, across the top right there, them are ICFs, which stands for individual config files. You got your fuel, sensors, your system ICF, your idle, your spark, your inputs and outputs. You got advanced, comparison. You got a IO pin map. They constantly come out with new updates, and the last update they added the ability to test outputs and traction control. You got data logging and a few other ones. And if you want to do like nitrous or a boost, you can go up to toolbox right there and go to add individual config, and pretty much anything that you need is there. As far as like boost, nitrous, traction, transmission, and drive-by-wire. You would need the Terminator X Max ECU for that. The Terminator X won't do drive-by-wire or give you the ability to control the electronic transmission. But You can add nitrous, wet or dry, progressive, or turbo. And the first thing you should do when you first get in here is go to the system ICF and set it up. Show you how that looks. You got your number of cylinders, engine displacement. I got a 455, and you can go in and change it from like cubic inches or liters, because you know a lot of the guys run LSs. You know they're are basically in liters, like 5.3 liters, 6.2. So if I can change it to liter if I wanted to, and it'll be a 7.5 liter for the O's 455. The fuel type, you got gasoline, E85 and advanced. You see the storage value right there. Load sensing, I got mine at on VE base. I found that's the easiest one. Some guys might run speed density, and there's a few other options for like, I guess like racing or stuff like that. You got your injection type. You got the multi-port direct injection. I got a TBI, which is a throttle body unit, so that's why I got that. But if you choose multi-port, it'll give you a ton of injectors to choose from down there. I got mine set on TBI, so I only get like the options for the TBI injectors, which is only give me a few options. I can do custom. And most of the time when you buy injectors, they come with the data, so you can be able to plug that in down at the bottom and stuff. But with the on the VE, all these need to be correct for it to do the math and come up with the correct fueling and stuff for you. So you just want to make sure all that information is correct as far as like your fuel pressure, your actual fuel pressure, your what your injectors are rated at and stuff. You want to make sure all that information is correct. And then once you get all of that set up, you can go in and like go to like over here, ECU configuration. So I got the Terminator X, but it do give you the option to choose the X Max. And I think this ECU is really aimed towards like just the daily driver LS swap, and like the guys that's doing basic racing. If you're doing major racing and stuff like that, the Dominator and the HP would be good for you, because they can do like dual oxygen sensors and an NTK sensor. And this one only will do a Bosch 4.9. And then your ignition parameters, whatever you got. I got the Sniper Hyper Spark ignition system. And I just put all that information in my firing order and stuff. And you got sensor scaling. You can just go through and just set all your warnings and stuff for all your sensors and stuff. So if your coolant temperature falls, get too hot or something, it'll go off and stuff. And you got all that information right there. You can set that up. Basic I/O. I/O is inputs and outputs, fellas. Input is something that the ECU sees. It's like the coolant temp sensor, the fuel pressure sensor, oil pressure. Anything that's information that it sees and relays on your display or something, that's an input. An output is something that the ECU is turning on, like fans, a AC compressor, fuel pump. That's an output. And that's where just the basic ones you'll set up. It's got the ability to do dual fans, but I got both of my fans wired together. I got mine set at when the thermostat open at 185, and they're cut off when it falls below 175. And then you got the ability to do dual fuel pumps. And like on the air condition, the AC shutdown, that is like when you go like full throttle, you don't want the AC compressor on, so you can set it to whatever your throttle position is that you want. I'll probably set mine, I already got it wired, but when I charge my AC, that's when I enable it. And I'll probably set mine to like 80. And the IAC kick is basically once you turn the AC on, you know, the air compressor can drag it down, and you don't want it to like drag it down and kill the motor or anything. So you can set that to where it can kick up the idle a little bit if you need it. And then you can, I don't think that was on there when I first got it. They probably added that in the last update, the PWM alternator, which is pulse width modulation. Closed loop learn. That's basically how much fuel is taken out and adding to achieve your target AFR. Once you get it dialed in, you want to dial these numbers back. I got my tune down at the low end fairly dialed in, so I'd set them numbers back, but everything else I left because I still got to tune it at the top end and stuff. But you can go in and set it to however you like. The closed loop to start learning and adjusting and stuff. When it reaches 160, that's when it'll start adjusting the fuel and stuff. Then you got your learn parameters. And that's just basically the same thing as the closed loop learn, as far as how much it learns and it'll take away on the learn table. But once you get it, most guys that's professionals, they don't even use the learn parameters. And once you get it dialed in, you can dial those numbers back. You got inputs and outputs. That'll basically just give you to show you what all the inputs and stuff that you use and not be using. You go to your fuel ICF. This show your fuel table, which is in volumetric efficiency. And basically, my understanding of it is, you know, a motor, all it is an air pump. And volumetric efficiency is just basically trying to see how efficient the engine is. Basically, whatever RPM it is at, and whatever manifold air pressure it is at, which is shown in kPa. So it is just, that's why they say you got to make sure you get all those parameters entered in correctly, so it can do the math for you, because the math is pretty complicated on how it's done. But I found that the volumetric efficiency is the easiest one to tune and stuff, fellas. You can go to fuel graph, and it'll show you like your fuel graph, and so you'll know like what areas need to be smoothed out and stuff, because you don't want no dips and valleys or spikes or nothing. So you see I still got a little tuning to go on this one, just to get it dialed in and stuff. But y'all see in my previous drives, it run good and stuff, but I still need to go in and do some tuning and stuff. You go to my learn table, and that's basically when I drive, this is what is taken out or adding to achieve my target AFR from my base fuel table, fellas. So you can transfer this to, like, as you see it right there, transfer learn to base, and it'll copy it to your base fuel table. You can go in and it'll ask you, do you want to smooth the table? And I always hit no. And I just manually do it. And if you go back to your fuel, I ain't gonna save this, but you'll see all the ones with the asterisk, that's what it's changed. And you go to the fuel graph, now you see my fuel table is changed. Now I have to go in and just move it out so it'll run good. You want it to be as close to zero as possible on like the closed loop comp. But it's something to play with, fellas. And if you can always go up here to help and go to contents, and it'll bring up a whole help menu. You can just read that, fellas, and it'll go through all these details and stuff. I'm just gonna give you a walkthrough. Acceleration enrichment, I kind of look at like that as like the accelerator pump on a carburetor. And you can go through the contents and read what all these is and stuff. Then you got temperature enrichment. And that's basically like when the engine is cold, you know, it'll richen it up and stuff. So it'll warm the engine up and stuff. You know, when it's cold, you need more fuel to run and stuff. Startup enrichment, I think that's pretty much self-explanatory. How much fuel it's adding to start the car. Fuel control, haven't you dived into that or nothing. Sensors, you just go through and pick exactly which sensor you're using. Holley, GM, Ford, whichever one. And you do have the ability to do custom ones, like my oil pressure is custom. I got from Low Dollar Motorsports, and it comes with the data to plug in. You just plug that in and stuff. Your idle, your spark, your IAC control, your ramp down, and your startup IAC position. Read the contents, and you'll be able to get a better understanding of which each one of those are. IAC parked, and then you got your inputs and outputs on that. Spark table. That's basically just showing you your ignition timing. You got RPM at the bottom and manifold air pressure on the other axis. And you can set this to however what your engine likes. You know what I mean? LSs don't like a lot of time, and I got a 455, so I looked up what the engine likes and stuff, and I plugged those in and stuff. And it does give you a graph if you want to see that. You got cranking parameters, which is just your timing and crank to run RPM. Rev limiters. I got mine set to 4,500. I got a big block, so I don't want to, and it's old, so I don't want to spin it past 5,000. Yeah, launch retard, I haven't got into none of this stuff, fellas. But this is pretty awesome. So when I don't have nothing to wrench on, or when I'm in between buying parts, like when I'm saving up to buy parts or something, I'll work on my tune and I just read the contents and see if there are any other videos that's been made to help you learn how to tune and stuff, and that's how I go about it. You got your IO, and I had my 2-step wired, but I took it out. It's still wired, but I disabled it. What else we got on there? Go to pin map, and you'll see where I had my AC kit disabled and my 2-step disabled. And go to view outputs, which is my AC shutdown. And I still got my electric fans, which is both the fans is wired to one. But it's a pretty bad system, fellas. It's awesome. You can do data logging. This is just a walkthrough. I haven't even touched the surface of what this thing can do. But this is my engine management system, fellas. I hope y'all enjoyed, and y'all have a great day. I would say if you really want to learn this stuff and learn like deep dive into it, Joe Simpson, he is one of the Holley EFI guys I follow. He got a lot of tutorial videos on how to tune for beginners and just going through the software and stuff. And he actually got a class you could buy that it shows you exactly what you need to do and stuff. If you want to install your own system, you can check out Devin Vanderhoof's video. He is like the EFI guide. The guy is pretty badass with wiring and installing these systems, fellas. And his stuff is way over my head, but I watch him to learn techniques and to get a feel for it. And I can do his builds are just, I'm talking, man, through the roof. But you can still apply some of the same techniques to your build. So them the two guys. If you want to learn tuning and stuff, check out Joe Simpson. If you want to learn like install the wiring and stuff, check out Devin Vanderhoofs.